So hey guys, by now you probably know that Matthew Perry recently passed away. He was the actor from Friends, and he was known to have a long history of addiction and depression. It turns out that Matthew Perry was being treated with ketamine for his depression and anxiety, although ketamine's not really approved for anxiety disorders. But anyway, moving on, he was treated with this medication, and it was found that his death was actually caused by the acute effects of ketamine. So he was taking doses that were significantly higher than what we would consider the normal range for somebody who is being treated for depression. Now, I think this highlights a couple of really key points. Number one, ketamine is not a disease-modifying treatment, meaning that it will not cure your depression. You could still have another depressive episode when using ketamine, and we shouldn't think of it as like a solution to all of our problems when it comes to treating depression. Now, of course, it is FDA approved for treatment-resistant depression, and it has had a lot of success. There's been many articles written about it, but I think we need to exercise some caution. Number one, this medication is probably not to be used outside of a clinical supervised setting under the care of a physician. It's dangerous to take ketamine at home and jump in your hot tub, for example, right? So we can see how this could get out of hand very quickly. Another key point that I took away from this is that we need to be mindful of treating people with ketamine who have a history of addiction, because it's unclear exactly how Perry got these large doses of ketamine, but what is clear is he had a significant history of addiction in the past and that he was being treated actively for opioid use disorder. So this is an individual who is high risk for potentially abusing a medication like ketamine, for example. The final points that I want to make here about this situation is number three, when somebody is on buprenorphine. Now, it hasn't been studied all that well, but I think we need to exercise some caution when combining that with ketamine, because we don't know what those effects might cause, right? Could it cause increased respiratory depression? Could it cause the person to have worsening side effects, say potentially from ketamine? So it's an interesting thing to think about and probably an area we need more research in. And the final point I want to make is that we should be cautious when prescribing this medication and using this medication in patients with coronary artery disease, because ketamine is known to increase blood pressure transiently, but patients with coronary artery disease who either know they have the disease or don't even know they have the disease potentially could be at risk for serious cardiovascular complications. So I will leave you guys with that. If you like the channel, if you enjoy the content we're making here, please consider subscribing. Please consider following me on Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next video.